abrir los ojos, abrir los ojos, abrir los ojos. This means to open one's eyes. Literally, when you open your eyes. And also, it can mean to realize that something is happening. Maybe you didn't know before, but then something happened that made you realize and just have a sense of what's going on. You know, maybe you didn't know something, but now you do. Now you realize what's happening. So you can use abrir los ojos in those situations. Abrir, to open, los, de, ojos, ojos, eyes. Ojo, ojo means eye. Ojos means eyes. Okay? Let's look at some examples using this phrase. María me abrió los ojos y me di cuenta de lo que pasaba. María me abrió los ojos y me di cuenta de lo que pasaba. This means Maria opened my eyes and I realized what was happening. Or it's similar to saying Maria helped me realize about what was happening. Okay? So it's similar to saying that now I realized, because there's like, we're saying twice that someone realized what was going on. We're saying abrir los ojos and also me di cuenta, and both mean to realize. It can mean to realize, but in this situation, you're just saying, you know what, Maria, I was blind. I didn't see. I had my eyes closed. I was unaware of what was happening, but Maria helped me to actually open my eyes and realize what was going on. So let's break this down. Let's see how this sentence works. María me abrió los ojos. By the way, we can use reflexive pronouns with this phrase. So me in this situation means, it's similar to saying my. Okay, but it's not a literal translation. Me is just indicating that your eyes opened. Okay, not Maria's eyes, not other person's eyes, but your eyes or my eyes in this situation, right? Abrió los ojos means opened the eyes, but like I told you before when talking about previous phrases, you can just leave los ojos, and the reflexive pronoun can indicate what eyes are you talking about, like what person's eyes are you talking about. Okay, so me abrió los ojos, opened my eyes. Okay, and me di cuenta. Again, we're using a reflexive pronoun here. Me can mean I and me as well, so keep that in mind. But when you say me di cuenta, this phrase right here, me di cuenta, means I realized. Okay, me di cuenta, I realized. You want to add more to the sentence. So when you say me di cuenta de, that means you're adding more. You can just say me di cuenta by itself. Me di cuenta. I noticed, I realized, something was going on. But yeah, you can use that me di cuenta, and that means I realized. ... If you want to add more, then you can say de, me di cuenta de, I realized ... Lo que, by the way, lo que means what? I know it's weird. It's weird, but we're not asking a question. We're not saying what in Spanish. Literally, we're just saying more information. We're adding more information, and lo que is a great way to say that, to accomplish that. For example, I can say lo que me gusta, what I like; lo que pienso, what I'm thinking; lo que como, what I eat. Okay, lo que pasaba means what was happening. Okay, what was happening. So lo and que refers to something, okay? But it's a helpful phrase that means what when you want to explain, something. In the situation, you are realizing about something, okay? What was happening. Lo que pasaba. What was happening. Okay? So remember that. By the way, we don't have the gerund here, happening. We don't have that. We have pasaba. Pasaba. Okay? That comes from the verb pasar, which means to happen. So keep that in mind. You can't translate literally word by word from Spanish into English. Pasaba is imperfect tense. It's imperfect tense, and it's used for the pronouns, personal pronouns él, ella, and usted, and also when talking about situations. Okay? So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Do you guys have any questions? Remember, abrir. Oh, hang on. I'm missing an example. There's another example. Oh my goodness. One more example, guys, and that will be it. So if you have any questions, please just share them. I will read them at the end of this explaining this phrase. So don't you worry, I'll look at them. I'll look at your questions. Okay. No puedo abrir los ojos. No puedo abrir los ojos. Me estoy lavando la cara. No puedo abrir los ojos. Me estoy lavando la cara. This means I can't open my eyes. I'm washing my face because I'm washing my face. So now this is a more literal thing. We're talking that you can't open your eyes because it's impossible for you to literally open your eyes. You're washing your face. You could open your eyes, but I would not recommend it if you have soap on your face. Right? So let's break this down. Let's see how this works. No puedo means I can't. You can say yo no puedo, but you don't need yo. You don't need yo all the time. So you can drop it and you can just say no puedo, and that means I can't. You can say it by itself. That means I can't. No puedo. I can't. But you can also add a verb right after in the infinitive form, so don't conjugate it, and that means that you're adding an action, an extra action, and it's a common thing to do because when you say I can't what, right? So you need to add an action. In this situation, a verb in the infinitive form in Spanish, And abrir, no puedo abrir, that means I can't open. Remember, the infinitive form is or means that you don't have to conjugate the verb. So just insert verb. That's it. No puedo abrir, I can't open los ojos. Los ojos means my eyes. You can say mis ojos, mis ojos. That's a literal translation of my eyes. But remember, there are some phrases in Spanish like this one, where you don't need to do anything other than conjugate the verb. So you can just leave the rest as is if you don't want to complicate your life. You can do that. You can do that. And then just conjugate the verb. That's one of those situations here. Abrir los ojos. No puedo abrir los ojos. That means, or it's similar to saying, I can't open my eyes. Okay? Me estoy. Me estoy. Me is a reflexive pronoun, and it works with the verb estar, which is right here. And when you say me estoy, is similar to saying I am doing something. I am ... You're doing something. What is it? Even though it says here I am, right? But me estoy, it's similar. You're saying, hey, I am doing something. And that is, what is that something? Lavando. And you need the gerund. When you say me estoy, you need a gerund if you're adding an action right after or a verb. Me estoy lavando means I am washing la cara. La cara, my face. You can say mi cara. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're thinking. Why am I using la cara and not mi cara? Mi cara is a literal translation. Mi means my, cara means face. You can say that. You can say no puedo abrir mis ojos, like I said before. Mis ojos, me estoy lavando mi cara. You can say that. It's fine. But you can also say los ojos en la cara. Why? Why? Because you are using verbs. You're conjugating verbs like this one right here. That refers to yo. You're talking about, in the situation, I. Okay? So this gives it away. And when talking about, actions and so on, you pay attention to the verb. How is it conjugated? And then you really don't need to say mis ojos, mi cara, because the verb is already giving it away. Okay, so that's why conjugation, this Spanish conjugation is important. The Spanish conjugation of verbs is important because that tells you who you're talking about. Okay, and remember, Spanish is a different language. It's not English. Don't translate word by word. Okay, so abrir los ojos can literally mean to open one's eyes, okay? Or also to realize that something is happening. For example, let me tell you, because I have here twice, she opened my eyes, I realized, okay? So that's what it says here. But you can say, for example, Maria, or something different. Gracias por abrirme los ojos. Simple. Easy breezy. What is this? I see some black lines for some reason. Okay. So, gracias por abrirme los ojos. This means thank you for. It can mean thank you for opening my eyes, or can also mean thank you for, make me realize. And then in brackets, you're saying it's not there, but it's like saying thank you for making me realize what was going on, for example, right? It's not there. You don't need it because it's a given. You're just saying thank you for making me realize what was going on, okay? In brackets. You're not saying it in the sentence, but you can just say that. You can just say gracias por, and that means thank you for. And then abrirme los ojos. Abrirme, this is a reflexive pronoun. You can use reflexive pronouns with this phrase. And abrir is the verb. And it's similar when you say abrirme, similar to saying to open my, okay, to open my, even though we're not saying mis here, once again. But los ojos means eyes or the eyes, okay? So keep that in mind. And of course, abrirme los ojos also means to, make me realize. Me can also mean me or I, right? Reflexive pronouns, they're everywhere. And abrir, similar to just make me realize, right? Realize. So essentially, when you say make me realize, that's an English way to say, hey, thank you for make me realize. I realize now. But essentially, you're saying, hey, thank you. I realize now what's going on. That is the idea. That is what this is similar to saying that. It's similar to saying that. Remember, once again, you cannot conjugate. You can conjugate, but you cannot translate word by word from Spanish into English. So you can just say that, and that means thank you for opening my eyes, or to make me realize what was going on. Okay, so it's a good one. Abrir los ojos. Abrir los ojos. Any questions?